Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Thanks for showing up today. It is 3:03. I've been working on a new video for blocks. Sorry, this is a little bit late. I usually try to come on right before the end of the day, but ever since I started doing that Patreon, it just makes it even that much longer to produce a video, because then after I even have the idea for the video, then I have to go type something. All right, so I think I've told the guys we have a meeting in here, so there's no one here yet, but that's fine. Hey, Jackson, what are you doing there? Jackson just came in to see what I was doing. Anyway, all right, let me shut my door. All right, let's check this stuff out. Let's look at the market first. Did I shut the market screen? It looks like I did. I shut the market screen. That's great. That's great. Well, we'll see what it says while we're waiting for everyone to show up. My blocks is going to be a good interview. Look at this, closing on the highs, or that's pretty much on the highs. You can see a little tail on top of that. You can see a little tail, but there's more tail on the bottom side. So anyway, it looks closer to a hammer than it does anything else. Anyway, it's fine. But you got to like a closing on the highs. You want to talk about knocking on the door. It is just absolutely knocking on the door of new highs. There's Bitcoin. Here's the 10-year, which is unfortunately kind of going the wrong direction on the daily time frame, and it has been ever since May. It's been rallying. As far as I'm talking, the moving average is even sloping up. Here's AMD. It's finally down today. Amazon. All right, whatever, right? Who cares? Let's go look at the index buffer report. Or it's not called the index. It's called the GPTY verse. Switch to tab. It's already open somewhere. I didn't even realize that. All right, well, let's kind of take a look. So look at this outperformance. Lots of outperformance. This one's Zestfall. Great job. I guess they buy futures nowadays. I think they buy S&P futures. They've always sold fixed futures, but nowadays they're doing some different stuff. All right, 5E is actually killing it. That's good. Of course, it's concentrated, so it usually has outperformance going both ways because it is concentrated. But look at STTY keeping up with 5E. You got to like that. Good job. Good job, guys, over at YieldMax. There's YSpy doing a good job as well. I just saw some social content on YSpy that it's outperforming the SPY. YSpy is beating the SPY. That's very good. We'd like to see that. Don't expect to see that. And of course, part of the way they're doing that is they're selling shares. So I don't know how long they can continue to beat the SPY. I don't know how many shares they're selling, but you can only sell shares once, where you can write options every freaking week. I think writing options is a better plan. They write options also, to be fair, but they also sell a few shares. According to the founder, I mean, I heard him say that. I'm just not that interested in it, so I don't talk about it that much. Anyway, there's iSpy doing a good job as well. KQQQ outperforming. LFGY outperforming. SEPI outperforming. Why is blocks not on here? Did I not have blocks on here? Yeah, I thought I put blocks on here. Whatever, it's fine. I need to put blocks on here. QTTT outperforming. Well, I really like that one. A target fund. Here, let's go see. We never talked about that one. Now, that's one I like to talk about. Now, what they're doing can be duplicated week after week after week after week. Still doesn't mean this can beat the SPY necessarily. There's probably nothing will over a long enough time frame. But I think it's a better plan than selling shares. I just don't like selling shares. I don't know why people sell shares. I mean, I get that sometimes you have to, and I get it's a tactic, and I get the fund could give you your own money back as return of capital. And if if you're in a expensive state to live in, that can really help. All right, but let's check this out. Triple QT. Now that's not the fairest comparison because it's Q's, but we'll try SPY T, which is the same thing against T SPY. Oh, there's T SPY beating it. T SPY is certainly beating it. But here's the other side of the story that other influencers don't tell you, that here's the thing you have to consider. Of course, T SPY is beating it because it only pays 12 or 13%. SPY T pays 20%. So it ought to always be beating it. But that's anyway. So it comes down to anything else. But now, to be fair, though, it is also beating it in total return. So whatever they're doing is working over this, time frame. This goes out to last August, right? 8/15. I wonder if that's when SPY T was around. Yeah, that's probably or maybe that's when T SPY was found. That's when one of them's inception date was. Well, anyway, that's really nice to see. Great job, T SPY. Great job, T SPY. We don't check in on SPY T enough, but it's an unsung hero. If you can get by with 20%. Some people like a lot more yield than that, but would you take a look at that? I told you SPY T's better. It's just, no, it's not. It depends on what you need. If you need more yield, SPY T's better. If you need more upside or less, if you need less yield, let's just say T SPY would be better. But yeah, that's nice to see. SPY T spanking them. All right, so let's go back to the index buffer report. I need to check in on SPY T and triple QT more often. Let's just check in on triple QT while we're talking about it. So let's compare triple QT with another one that everybody loves, QDTE. And even before I bring it up, I'll tell you what's going to happen. All right, QDTE pays what, 30, 35%, something like that. Triple QT pays less. So triple QT probably ought to do better on total return. It may not, but it probably ought to. We'll see. Yeah, of course. Of freaking course it does. Triple QT is a badass fund that people sleep on, and they always have. It's just that I look at also this. Look how triple QT protected your. And this shouldn't happen. Really, QDTE should have had better downside protection because of the higher dividend. But it looks like it was about the same. But here in this second dip, triple QT was dogging QDTE. And everyone loves QDTE. Maybe that's why I don't talk about it as much as everybody else. I just hate the Me Too funds. For a while, triple Q or QDT and XDT were the funds that everyone was talking about. Oh, they don't have erosion. They don't have erosion, which just shows they don't even understand, what it is. So, but anyway, that's par for the course. All right. So let's go back to the index buffer report. But yeah, that's really good to see. That's really good to see. All right. LFGY, that's good. We already looked at that. I'm sorry. Triple QT, we already looked at that. Okay. Look at ULTY. ULTY looks good. Let's see how triple QT does against ULTY. Now, ULTY has a lot bigger dividend, but it's also on riskier stocks. So this isn't really a good comparison. And ULTY is dogging them. That's wonderful. Boy, look at that. You got to love that, don't you? Or I love that. Because that right there is something that really shouldn't happen. But they're different underlines, so it's not an apples to apples comparison. Because ULTY's underline certainly is not the NASDAQ. It's different. It's more like the Russell. So let's compare ULTY to IWM. Heck yes, it's killing it. It's killing it. I guess there's a reason it has $1.3 billion under management. Boy, if only there was an influencer who'd been on it the whole time instead of these Johnny come freaking latelys. All right. Hey, okay. What's up, Marcus? Appreciate you being here. Brad, I don't know if I'd seen you around in a while, or I have a couple of Brads that are followers, but I don't know if that's you or different Brad. Anyway, but whoever it is, I really appreciate it. Jackson, hang on. All right, I just had to shut the door. But yeah, that's wonderful that the SPY almost cleared 6,300. You got to love momentum. Hey, Froggy, thanks for being here again. This is like 2-3 days in a row, something for you. I appreciate it. S-Fall is playing games as usual, down one day, up the next. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, people did forget about SPY-T, and I did too, kind of. That's when these things come up and I'm doing these reports. Then I always, hang on. Jackson, get in or out. Then I'm doing these reports, and then I see it, and then I see one. All right. So Marcus, if consistent 20% isn't enough for you, you have expensive taste. Yeah, but there's the other thing also. I like more also. You can use more, as you know, and you do this too, Marcus. You sprinkle in a little bit of some higher yielding ones with some steady ones. I mean, I bet you that 50% ULTY and 50% SCHD would not be a bad high yield portfolio. You know what SCHD pays 4, that other one pays 80, so you'd end up making 40. You'd have some pretty good safety, in my opinion, and you'd have some pretty good yield. So I like them like in that thing. But yeah, if you had to put it all in one fund and 20% isn't enough, yeah, you do have expensive taste for sure. Anyway, Brad, like I say, thanks for being here. Yeah, ULTY is just murdering it, just absolutely on fire. Hey, Dan, thank you for being here, and Jax, and hey, Jax. Dan said, hey. Oh, you've been traveling. Okay, so that's great. That's great. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back. Everyone's been traveling. I mean, it is. I mean, people are getting. I have friends that have just got back in town, and I was just talking with them. But yeah, it's that season, right? It's the season where it's fun. It's the season where everyone travels. But what I like is when the travel season is over and you get into August, which is coming up, and you even get into mid-August, then you know what starts to happen, right? Don't you? College football, NC double freaking A, baby. And I live in an SEC town, a big SEC town, and this town goes insane. Now, granted, I would honestly rather be in my hometown during football season. I mean, there's nothing like it. But this is a good town as well. This is a great town as well. Hey, retired cop. I'm glad you had a relaxing weekend. I really am. All right, so let's see here. Let's look at some other stuff here. I had some stuff to show you this morning, and I did not get around to it. But I wanted to look at the Alti stock positions. I guess it's right here too. Okay, so and we had cash yesterday. Today we don't have cash. I haven't had AI make the thing that shows me the change. I just want to start looking at the daily the change in this. But anyway, we can see what the biggest positions are. So it is money market, that first American government obligation, or I don't know, money market, maybe not right, but short-term bonds, whatever, some kind of fixed income, safe stuff. Cash, I'm going to call that cash and that money market. But other than that, you can see the biggest allocations, Robinhood, MicroStrategy is probably due to appreciation. I bet it started off at 5%, and that's why some are less and some are more as the prices adjust. But we also have some Applied Optoelectrics, AppLovin, AST Space Mobile, First Solar, Robinhood, IonQ or something. We have Labu, triple leveraged biotech. Boy, that's not dangerous, is it? Or that's not volatile. I do conflate danger with volatilities, and I need to stop doing that. It's volatile. Let's just say that. Nebius Group, NV, I don't think I've really heard of them. There's Netflix. Oh, Netflix has earnings after the bell today. Okay, well, I'm done with this. I just wanted to show you that. Let's go look at something else. Jackson, Just chill out, buddy. Okay, please. He's wanting to go in and out, but then he goes out. He doesn't know how to shut the door behind him, and then there's noise coming from the other part of the house. All right, so what I wanted to check into over here was a little Netflix action. Well, we could see what else had earnings as well. It looks like it was a bad one. It's dropping from this. Well, it's dropping from 1,280 to 1,250. Not really that much. Let's see. Calls at 345. Okay. Well, sorry about this. I don't know why it's taking so long. I was just going to look up Netflix right here and Tasty Trade. There's a Netflix chart. Boy, the Tasty Trade charting is not great, but I figured they would have after hours, but I don't know how to access it. Probably just in the quote. Yeah, you can see the quote. It's being bid, but now I can't read it. Bid at 1260, asked at 1262. Okay. So it's basically they're probably just waiting for the call. That's basically unchanged in a stock that's $1,200 to be down $30. So let's see what I'm rooting for. I think I'm rooting for higher prices on this one. I don't want to close that window. Gosh darn it. I'm getting ready to have to go shoot another video right after this one, and I have the window set up that all right, but here we go. They created. So there's that Rigetti trade I was showing that supposedly takes advantage of call skew. We'll see how it does. I mean, Netflix. And I did basically the same thing. No, I didn't do this. Trying to think. Well, I don't know. In real life, I did a risk reversal. I thought I put the same trade in here. I guess I was trying to show somebody else another trade to do. That's not the worst looking trade. That's also one of those call skew trades. It looks like it just has overshot the profit tent. So the profit tent's right at 1250. So depending on what earnings do tomorrow, if somebody did this one, it could be, you could hit your lotto ticket. If earnings, pull in about a little bit to 1250 or something, and you hang around, the middle of the day, or what time's that? Yeah, it's middle of the day. It's $500 profit between 4 and depends on where it lands. But anyway, that's an interesting trade for sure. I don't know why I showed that one and then did the risk reversal. It may have had to do with something I saw on Tasty Trade. I hurried and did it right before the close one day. So anyway, all right. Well, this Rigetti trade is the one that's posing is the call skew trade. This 21 strike option is obscenely overpriced at 124 IV, where I'm hedging it at 98 IV. So those make decent looking little trades. Now this isn't earnings, but I'm just kind of hoping it goes up into earnings, that the stock trades up. So let's see what Rigetti's doing. Now Rigetti and let's see, RGTI, right? Yeah. Rigetti and another one called QS. What's QS? QuantumScape or something? Who knows? But it's QS. It's quantum something, I think. Both are priced where you could do straight, not only wheels. I always say wheel price, but just, you could also just tell a naked put on the darn thing. I guess that is the wheel. That's the first step of the wheel. But you can, you don't, the bag holding concern isn't to the degree it is when you're looking at a $50 stock and it has a bad earnings report and it drops to 30 or something. This one can't drop to 30. It can just drop 17 points is the most it can drop. So But anyway, great job, Rigetti. Let's look at this quantum state. So these, I think I showed a trade in this one. This one, these have huge call skew. Well, that's the other thing. That's the problem with getting into these stock. Like a lot of people, your natural inclination is just give me a damn call. But the problem is the call skew. And, give me some out of the money calls so I get leverage. Well, you can do that, but they're just charging a ridiculous amount. Let's go look at this Rigetti trade. If you guys have questions or other stuff you want to talk about, put in the comments. I'll be right over there in a second. I just want to check out this. I just want to check this out. Rigetti. Well, it doesn't matter which one. One was selling the 20 and one was selling the 21. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be wonderful if this one, it could go up another 23%. What I was trying to show is it has the same profit loss as stock. Now, I know that looks like a steep slope, but it's really not that steep. It's the same as stock. I could put up stock next to it and it'd be exactly the same. In fact, it'd even be a little bit better than stock because of the call skew. When I did this, it made you an extra $20 per contract. Because of the call skew. The profit loss line was $20 over, but the slope was identical. All right. What are you guys talking about? You guys are probably talking amongst yourself, which is fine. I bet the weather's pretty up there in Wisconsin, retired cop. I mean, I've always been jealous of people that live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan for the summertime, or Wisconsin, Minnesota. I bet it's beautiful up there. I was in Wisconsin once, and it was in the fall, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was like September or something. I was there for a wedding, and I was in Whitefish Bay, the house backed up to Lake Michigan. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Whitefish Bay, I guess, is like Terrytown. In Austin, you have something called Terrytown. I know they have a Terrytown in New York also, but it's a nice neighborhood in Austin. But Whitefish Bay is the Terrytown of Wisconsin. Anyway, okay, or it was when I was there. You love when Y triple Q's down because it means your other high yielders are up. Heck yeah, good attitude. I mean, it's an expense. It is an expense. Is there any one specific LevMax offering you are interested in? Okay, well, they're single stocks. I wish they would do LevMax on an index, but that may kind of defeat the purpose. Yeah, I'm all about salty. I'm not sure. Let me think about that, retired cop. Hey, Marcus, yes. SLTY, I gave Jay the name for that fund so it's been 13 months because we were in New York last June. And there's a guy named Gavin that comes up with the names, and I told him about it. And then told him I wanted a 1% override commission on it. And but Mike and Jay nixed that. They said anyway, but they did like the name. They certainly did like the name. But I don't know why they probably their inverses really haven't done that well as far as bringing assets under management. It is a business for them. For us, it's tactical. I don't care what a fund has in it. Some of the better funds only have 5 or 10 million, in my opinion, because they're specialty type things like Blocks. Blocks doesn't have a lot of money under management. I have a feeling that's fixing to change, but yeah. So, okay. Amy did an interview with Jay. Yes. Oh, about salty. Okay. I heard she said, I was talking to her yesterday. She said that my name came up in the interview or something, but that's probably, and I was wondering how that happened. Maybe that's how it happened. Maybe, who knows? Anyway, I cannot wait to watch that. I can't wait to watch that. Amy's awesome. Last year we had Corey. This year we have Amy, but it is just a man's world for these funds. And I don't know about Amy, but I know Corey used to get a ton of grief, and I always felt bad. And she was, Corey is she's just a hard worker. She's super, super smart. I mean, didn't know a lot about options, but she made up for it, or didn't know, she made up for it with her never quit. But until I think the trolls got to her. She is a nice person. Anyway, I hope Amy doesn't let the trolls get to her, because I think Amy has a few trolls. Anyway, but I will watch that. I cannot wait to watch that. I was planning on watching that because Amy told me yesterday. She goes, yeah, I did an interview and your name came up or something. But yeah, Corey was awesome. And that woman, there's nothing she couldn't figure out on it. She's an accountant, basically. She was, and Rod's the same way. Rod can figure out anything you can do. Rod can freaking model it out for you. But yeah, and Rod, just like Corey, is super hardworking. Anyway, I wish Corey would. I wish she would. I hope she's doing all right. And I get that. I mean, I think she also just figured out making content is such a grind. And then when you have people giving you grief about it at the same time, people have given me grief my whole life for good reason usually. So I'm kind of immune to it. I have a pretty thick skin, but anyway, but somebody like Corey, I think that she's probably not got a lot of grief in her life. She's probably always done the right thing and got compliments and stuff. And then you get on YouTube and that's, it's a different deal. I think one of my trolls was after her too. There was a couple of trolls that just for whatever reason didn't like me and didn't like Corey. So anyway, yeah, Corey was awesome. But now we have Amy. Amy has a similar. Amy's different. She has a different personality, but she also just works really hard. That's what I'm saying. They both just have such good work ethics. That's what I would compare them about. All right, QUSA or Omaha. I don't know, dude. Just figure out which one has. I'm just joking. They're the same stocks, aren't they? Just figure out how much dividend you need, and if you need more yield, take the one with more yield, and if you need less yield, isn't one of them 30 and one of them's 15 or something? So if you're concerned about NAV. Take the one that pays 30, actually. Well, if you're concerned about NAV on the downside, if you're concerned about that kind of NAV, if you're concerned about upside NAV, take the one that pays 15. I mean, isn't it 30 and 15 or something? I don't know. I'm not, I should know. QUSA or Omaha. You guys want to see my here? Since you guys are here, and there's really no questions coming in, which is fine. I could show you let me show you something that you'll like. Because I know you guys will watch my video anyway, and I'm not worried about views at this point. But I was going to show you, I've put the blocks positions. Let me show you what we have here. But if you want to watch the video, I'm gonna talk about it here. But I went over the blocks positions with the fine-tooth comb, and I was trying to see what they're doing and trying to see how far apart they're spreading their strikes on their lightning spreads. And anyway, there's going to be some content coming out on it real soon, but I was going to show you, maybe I'm not going to show you. Maybe I'll just show it to you this way. I have a few block trades in here. We have MBTX, which is the micro Bitcoin index. Now, I think that's futures or maybe just like an index, kind of like SPX is an index, but it doesn't have stock per se, or at least it doesn't have stock and option strat. Well, anyway, let's just go look. That's why I pulled this up, though. Let's go look and see if they have the stock in real life. I guess I shut that window. Oh, I did shut the window because I was trying to shut windows. Let's just do it this way. But yeah, Alti's awesome. I mean, Marcus, you and I were talking about hedging stuff with YQQQ or with Crash. But yeah, can you imagine having Alti and then having short Alti? I mean, you get to be more of a direct hedge. Okay, so I think it's right here. But let's see how many shares, if any, they have of MBTX. But the other ones are all the same trade, and I was just going to show you what they look like and kind of what you're betting on or what you're hoping for. So here we have blocks. Whenever it decides to come up, okay. So there is no MBTX in there. So the MBTX, unless they have a synthetic in here, unless I missed it or something. MBTX, I color coded them. Don't you like that? Okay, so now it looks like on MBTX they have a call spread. Well, just a call spread by itself is a synthetic. A call spread by itself is a synthetic caller. So it has the same profit loss risk profile as a caller. So a caller is a covered call with an extra put. Notice there's no puts, there's just two calls, but it's synthetically equivalent. A call spread synthetically equivalent of having stock plus a short call, which this does have. This has a short call and then a put. So anyway, so they have stock synthetically through here. But the rest of them, they just own it directly. So let's just go FBTC. So what the heck is FBTC? Some Bitcoin trust thing or another. But we can look right here. They actually have 16,506 shares of that fund. But then what they've done is they've sold 165. So they're totally encumbered. Because 165 times 100 is 16,500. So they have six unencumbered shares, but they're basically totally encumbered. So they sold the 210 call in this one. And then they turned around and they sold the 105 call and they bought the 110 call. So let me show you what that looks like. Do I have this backwards? Of freaking course I do. Did I just say they sold? No, they sold the one. I worked on this for like an hour. I should know it. I don't understand. Okay, they bought the 110 and sold the 105. Okay, so that's what it is. Bought the one. Oh, gosh. Well, I'm glad I found this before I started shooting the damn video. 165, and then they sold this one minus 165. Plus they have shares, and then there's long. I didn't put the 506. It doesn't have 6 extra shares on here. All right, well, I like the looks of that. That looks like my kind of trade right there. That looks like my kind of trade. I like the looks of that trade. But in any event, so they have that position on. That's their only one with calls, with the call spread. So that's the yield max strategy right there. That's long stock plus a short call, in this case the 105, and then plus a long call, the 110. Is that even right? Did I do that right? I don't understand why this has to be so hard. The 110 is long. Yeah, okay, I did that right finally. All right, well, so that's the yield max strategy. So you have cap upside to a point, and then it's uncapped after a while. But the thing is, you're doing it for credit. You're really trying to get this $23,000 to pay the dividend. Most recent dividend was 15 point, I forget point what. But it comes to like $7.96.5. So just call that $8. This thing cost $20 originally. So that's pretty good. It's 40%, right? 40% payer. And I listened to the interview from Income Architect yesterday, or maybe from Jonathan. And he was saying they're trying to pay 30, 35. He thinks that might be about what they pay, but then Jonathan asked him, hey, can we spend it? And no, you can't. It's still, maybe you can spend 12 or 16. And that's exactly what he said. And so and we've always kind of found 12 to 16, kind of what T-SPY is trying to pay, kind of the physical limit of what you could do without just getting too crazy. It's in an index. Now, maybe not in a regular stock, but anyway. But so in other words, he just told us the answer to the problem. And the back test confirms it too. This is all right. It's just like selling covered calls. The puts aren't, just because you don't sell a call, you don't have full upside. Selling puts still requires that you do something that, and with the thing that you have to do, even though it's not with capped upside, still affects the total return. So, but anyway, that's the one with, so that's pretty cool. So this one, they're actually going for extra upside. And so that's great because I don't like capping my upside on Bitcoin. So they have this one with extra upside. Great job. But then there are other ones. I won't show you all of them, but then there are other ones are standard. They're stock plus options. We'll look at one of them. Stock plus puts, I should say. And this is 2 tranches of it, but and this one, I know what they did. They sold the ones closer to the money and they bought the ones further out of the money. So, no, I said that backwards. I didn't say it backwards. I have it backwards. Story of my life. All right. So circle, they bought 232.5s and they bought the 190s. And then they sold the 240s. Oh, that's why it is. All right, I'll go fix this later. This is a disaster. I'm nowhere close to making the that other video. I need to get that other video out, but I need to fix all this stuff first. All I was trying to show with this is well, notwithstanding the fact that the strikes aren't, I don't even know what I was trying to show. I mean, I know I was trying to show the white line is how the option strategy does. Like I say, notwithstanding that those are the wrong strikes, it'll be something similar. But so it just shows you the lightning spread gives you an advantage in the up market for sure. You get extra alpha that you want, especially when you write them out of the money below and the market moves up, you get extra alpha that you wouldn't normally get. If the market moves down, because there's no free money, you're going to lose more with the lightning spread. Yes, the lightning spread doesn't cap your upside, but it still doesn't. It's still not magic. That's all I was trying to say. I'll get these strikes fixed. They just intermingled them. Like one of these lower ones is a sell, and the one of the higher. I mean, anyway, they're just whatever. I'll figure it out. Maybe, who knows? We'll see. Well, I guess that's why you guys got to watch that video to see if I do get it figured out. All right. Yeah, QUSA is Vista target 15. So the other one, Omaha, was 30, right? Or no, they're both target. I'm sorry, they're both target 15. My bad. One's Berkshire, and yeah, but the USA leading companies, I thought somebody said those are also basically Berkshire companies or something. I don't know. But yeah, but that is what it says in the literature. I mean, I did a review on it. I guess I need to go watch my own review. I say QUSA given that choice, though. Now that, I mean, given that choice, but all right. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all for being here. I hope you have a great day, and I'll go get that video finished, and then I'll post it, and you guys can watch it. But it's going to be a recorded one, so if I mess up, you don't want to. I'll fix it. My point was, I was going to try to record it before I came on and did this show, but I would have never got it because there's 2 or 3 mistakes, and I'd still be cutting and pasting and all kinds of stuff. All right. Well, very good. There seems like something else I was supposed to check out. Marcus also posted something on CanQ, and I just want to talk about that really fast. So given the choice between QUSA and Omaha, I choose CanQ. All right, there it is right there, CanQ. CanQ's a great fund. I'll talk about it tomorrow. It's a Calamos fund. It's a Calamos hedged equity type situation. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you later. See ya.